Put on your ceremonial gown. Light 666 candles. Prepare to sacrifice your firstborn at the altar of hyperlocal audio content. This is the Shit Things in Reading Plopcast. 3. It's the magic number. This time around, we speak to two humans from off of a Reading band called Typical Hunks. We also talk to a disc jock who wants to tell you all about a local festival called Readipop. And we mince around the Siren Craft Brewery in Finchampstead, half pissed on delicious complimentary beer. The Shit Things in Reading Plopcast, sponsored by Sex. Sex. For when your naughty thing tingles, or for when you need a baby next year. Now let's play a little game that we're calling Guess the Fact That's True.
Guess the fact that's true. Guess the fact that's true.
And also point out the two facts that aren't true and as such aren't actually facts.
And also point out the two fuck.
Feel free to play along at home, or on the bus, or in the public lavatory, wherever you are. Joining us for this excellently well thought out and brilliantly executed game show time is Readipop Festival's Tim Wheeler. 50% of Reading-based DJ Men twin son, Tim's here to shamelessly promote the festival formerly known as the Caversham Festival and joins us now.
Hello, Podcast.
Hello, Tim. Now, the Readipop Festival is on from Friday the 13th of July and runs until Sunday the 15th, taking place at Christchurch Meadows in Caversham. Tim, tell us more about the bloody thing.
Well, there'll be lots of portaloos, but also lots of music, and just £30 for a weekend ticket. 808 State are playing, Odyssey, Dawn Penn, Stereo MCs, Huey Morgan from Fun Loving Criminals is DJing, John Power from Cast, Goldie Looking Chain, the Future Heads frontman Barry Hyde, Don Letts, the members. I could go on.
That's great. Cheers. Now on to the quiz.
Guess the fact that's true. Guess the fact that's true.
We're going to give you 3 facts about 3 artists playing the Readipop Festival this year, and your task is to pick out which one isn't made up and which 2 of the 3 are made up in so much as they're not factually accurate, i.e. they're made up. Get one wrong and we'll crush you and the event. Are you ready?
I am ready.
Good.
Guess the fact that's true.
Question 1. Goldie Looking Chain will be performing in the Purple Turtle tent on Friday. But which of these pieces of information is Cod's bollocks? Number 1. Goldie Looking Chain were heavily involved in the East Coast, West Coast, LA beef of the mid-90s and are thought to be behind the 1997 murder of Biggie Smalls. 2. Maggot from Goldie Looking Chain is believed by many CID insiders to be behind the 1999 murder of Crime Watch presenter Jill Dando. 3. Goldie Looking Chain are from Wales.
Oh, this is a tough one. Obviously, they think that guns don't kill people, rappers do. But I do think the correct answer is Wales.
Guess the fact that's true.
Question 2. Disco legends Odyssey graced the main stage on Friday as well. But which of these facts is the true fact and which of the 2 facts are not really facts? Number 1. Odyssey, best known for their 1977 hit Native New Yorker, are believed by many NYPD insiders to be behind the infamous 1977 New York Son of Sam killings. 2. Odyssey, best known for their 1977 hit Native New Yorker, are believed by many NYPD insiders to be behind the infamous 1980 New York City-based murder of John Lennon. 3. Odyssey are from New York.
Well, I don't think they killed John Lennon. Or the other one. Gonna go with New York on this one.
Guess the fact that's true.
And finally, question 3. Huey Morgan's NYC Block Party are playing the main stage on Saturday night. Pick out the real fact from this trio of factoids. 1. Huey Morgan is believed by many NYPD insiders to be behind the 1928 gangland shooting of kingpin Jewish mobster Arnold Rothstein. 2. Huey Morgan is believed by many Pentagon insiders to be behind 9/11. And 3. Huey Morgan's from New York.
Ah, you're getting me again. Despite all of the Scooby snacks. Oh.
Clearly having a few technical issues here at the Shit Things Around Plopcast, so just bear with us while we try and get this feed back up. In the meantime, please enjoy my lounge piano.
Yep, you got me again. Despite all of the Scooby snacks that they had, I think I'm gonna have to go boringly for New York.
Guess the fact that's true.
Congratulations, Pete! 3 on 3. Your brain function is normal, and for your prize, this year's Readipop Festival gets an official Shit Things in Reading backing.
Hooray!
Shit Things in Reading and its subsidiaries fully and wholeheartedly endorse this product, service or event.
Yay!
Is there anything else you'd like to say to the readers?
Just that you'd be mad not to come along to Readipop this year. Shameless plug ends here.
Tim Wheels, thank you.
Thanks for the endorsement, podcast. See you there. Yays, 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 yays.
Clearly having a few technical issues here at the Shit. Are you currently listening to the podcast? Please would you leave a nice review for the podcast? Why don't you tell your friends about the podcast?
Local celebrity profile. Jeremy Kyle.
Sorry, is there anybody in the audience that thinks I come from a different planet?
Jeremy Kyle was created by the Tavistock Institute in July of 1965 in order to later stoke the fires of 21st century class war by shouting at proles on
I
television.
go to the gym. I must be really good at sex.
He was birthed by a surrogate mother in the Royal Berkshire Hospital in Reading, where his placenta is still on display to this day.
What the hell are you crying for?
Some say his sneering and aggressive TV persona is vile, abhorrent and repugnant, and call him things like a bit of a cunt, and a total cunt. His critics, however, are often less affectionate.
And you think that's funny, do you?
To make ends meet as a younger man, Kyle took any number of jobs such as life insurance salesman, recruitment consultant and estate agent, but found that none of those jobs provided enough opportunities to make people's lives a misery, and so opted to become instead a breakfast DJ on local radio.
Hey, that's not funny, is it?
He soon moved to Virgin Radio, where he presented a Sunday evening show called Jizzy Jez's Jazz Jerk-Off, where listeners would call in and masturbate over the phone to the cool sounds of Dizzy Gillespie, Miles Davis and John Coltrane.
Of course she think it's funny, and the best thing that can happen to you is if she got rid of
He
you.
would later fortuitously land a plum job on ITV presenting the Jeremy Kyle Show after the show's original presenter, Jeremy Kyle, died. The alive Kyle would revolutionise the programme, scrapping the black and white minstrel element and instead turning it into a human baiting attack on the proletariat. Tavistock's investment had begun to pay off.
The stuff I buy for my kids, she sells for booze.
Kyle would further turn Britain against society's filth through the prism of crime, affairs, paternity tests, drugs and alcohol, tracksuits and toothless men doubting polygraph test results. Within just 6 months, the entire country had nothing but contempt for the underclass. A 2006 survey claimed that just 6% of Britons were against drowning all newborns named Jaden, Mason or Jordan.
Sorry, could I just ask, did you sleep with Annie?
Jeremy Kyle also writes a weekly column for Take a Shit magazine called Kill Yourself, where he adopts a frank style in responding to readers' problems, always ending each response with a detailed and tailored advice as to how the person should take their own life.
Come with me, my friends. Let's go and upset some people out here.
In 2008, Kyle won the Cunt of the Year award, sponsored by BMW, beating off the likes of Joseph Fritzl and Tim Lovejoy. And as if he isn't already unlikable enough, Jeremy Kyle also admits to being a supporter of West Ham United. So, in honour of Reading's worst son, we raise a glass of piss to you, Jeremy Kyle. Cheers!
Look a minute. hold on, listen, look, hold on, listen. Give a chlamydia. Look, hold on, listen, look, hold on, listen. Give a chlamydia. Look, hold on, listen, look, hold on, listen. Give a chlamydia. Look, hold on, listen, look, hold on.
Time now for music time. The time has come for it. It's about time we had music time, and so here is music time. Joining us on this edition's music time are Typical Hunks. Typical Hunks are two Reading men, Nick Mann and Christopher Marshall, and a Reading drum machine, Dr. Rhythm. They describe themselves as noisy post-punk noise people that make noise. I don't think they do describe themselves as that. That's just what I've written down here. We're joined by 33% of them, Christopher Marshall. Hello, Christopher. Can you hear me?
Hello. Yes, I can hear you.
Hi, you've also got Nick from the Hunks, and I can hear you as well.
Are you all right?
Yes, I'm fine, thank you very much.
Good, thanks.
Okay, yeah. What is music?
We're not really sure if we really make music. We're still trying to find out. It's a lot of sounds, I guess, and a lot of noise, and with us, a lot of feedback.
Can you tell us about the band, please?
Nick and I met a few years ago and drunkenly decided to try and rip off the band Shellac. We got a drummer who then subsequently run off to China, then had another drummer who didn't really play with us that much. So then we found Dr. Rhythm in a dusty pawn shop, and he's been with us ever since.
You're from off of Reading. Talk about that.
Yes, I am. Reading's a very average town and it does its job.
I'm not from Reading. I was born in Nuneaton, and Reading is paradise compared to Nuneaton.
Given your name, do groupie types turn up to your gigs expecting you to be handsome?
I imagine if they did, they'd be sorely disappointed. We did have a time where people were throwing underwear on us at stage after the end of the gigs.
They were our friends, and they'd stolen from their parents, so it's not quite as glamorous getting sort of quite dowdy M&S underwear thrown at you.
What would you say a typical hunk was like? Rock hard abs, sure. Ripped pecs, obviously. Then like firm calves. Lovely, soft, wavy hair. A sick dress sense. Great sense of humour. What else?
Baby oil, I guess?
Why don't you take this opportunity to speak to the tens of thousands of listeners out there and promote one of your upcoming gigs?
Yeah, of course. Our next gig is the Club Velocity Night at Rising Sun Arts Centre. We're playing with Cody Noon and Blimp. It's on the 27th of July.
We will play 58 seconds of one of your songs after you've introduced it and said goodbye to us and all of your potential new fans. And you can do that now.
We released a couple of new tracks, so we'll play one of them. We'll play Rust, which is about living in a creeping dystopia, which everyone can relate to at the minute. We recorded it in London with Wang from a studio called Bear Bites Horse. We're really happy with the results, so you can play 58 seconds of that one, and you can hear the rest at typicalhunksuk.bandcamp.com. Bye, new fans.
walk through Siren Craft Brewery.
Wrap up warm there, guys. This cold stores is like what? Pretty much all the beer gets ferried over to the brewery.
Shit, there's a lot of beer in it.
And it's just a little bit. So everything comes in here straight from the brewery. Doesn't go above 5 degrees, and obviously 5-minute ferry comes out in here. So we keep it at the best optimal condition. Obviously, once it leaves our hands, we can't really monitor that. And just have to educate people on how to store.
It doesn't even occur to me. I wouldn't just think, you make it, just stick it in a warehouse, who gives a shit, leave it, and then someone pick it up. You forget it has to be like...
Hops fade and they disintegrate really easily. So like,
it would just taste crap if it was warm.
Worse off. We want to, we're pretty anal and snobby about it. But so for instance, like when you have like a bottle of beer that's in a kind of seafood bottle, like Corona or something like those, when you open it, sometimes it's like weed. It's because it's been sat there.
Yeah.
That's because it's fucked. It's pretty much.
It's got too warm when they were messing about.
Because that's why you don't see craft beer in beer bottles.
But Corona means sun, so it should be damaged by the sun.
Yeah, maybe. But
that's how they get away with
it.
Could someone break in and steal these things?
No,
it's quite.
This is quite a lot. Yeah, you have to.
I'm not suggesting that we're casing the joint, but
yeah, well, if you were going to do it, I'll do it.
Here's how you tell.
Yeah, so basically,
It's taking a lot of effort though.
We have
in
heavy
here.
lifting. Yeah, we've got pallet clippings. So I kept here chilled, optimal condition for the brewers. They come and ferry them back and forth, get them. And usually there's a clear pathway. Fridays tends to.
You're not selling enough. That's the problem.
Basically, it all comes in on Friday. And then
That's why I didn't go for it.
We do that to wake everyone up. It's an old trick.
I've broken a finger. Is this a guide dog special?
Hey, what?
We are the guide dog. Is that a guide dog?
Oh, I think that's a name of a pub somewhere. A really shit name for a
We
bar.
are the guide dog.
We are the guide dog.
Is it the guide dog?
I like that. It's nice.
We are the guide dog.
Maybe
That's
their
their full
maybe
name.
it's their staff canteen. So do you reckon you could arrange a piss up in this brewery?
Look, to be honest, from doing that bottle share thing last night, I'm just trying to pour drinks to everyone. I'm like, I can lean over things, I'm spilling it, and everyone's like, oh, you're rubbish. I'm like, yeah, you actually can't.
You can't arrange a piss up in your own brewery.
Yeah, it's like, it's fucking, it's the same for a reason, it's difficult. It was very easy to get pissed, and then the arranging part goes out the window, I think, after once you've had a few beers. This is the barrel aging project in here.
Wow, there's a lot of barrels.
So, yeah, in here.
But when you so this is like an experiment, and then you.
Well, it's kind of a bit chaotic to start with, but then it all comes together. I think the barrel aging project manager said something quite good last night about it, saying it's kind of like it's called the Maiden. It's like the nautical theme. It's kind of like a rudderless ship to start with, but then it all kind of you go through the sea. You eventually steer it, and then it all comes together after the year.
Yeah.
And that's I thought it was quite a good way of describing the process. It's like controlled chaos. Well, not yet. None of us had yet. Touch wood.
What would happen to a barrel if you were not going to sell it?
It either gets repurposed as for the blending projects. So I do another blending project called Odyssey, where we blend different things. Or
You couldn't just sell it to Scottish people.
Well, we haven't thought of that. they may well.
You're very welcome to use any idea that come up with.
It's better than tenants.
Would need to be.
Employment.
What was here before?
I'm not. It was basically some warehouse logistics centre. I'm not entirely sure.
Before this logistics centre.
Some sort of.
We should have come here when it was a logistics.
Yeah.
God, you can get pissed. Stuff has been.
I mean,
for no
we've
real
been
fault of anyone.
We've been doing this. We've been doing this for 5 years. So I've only been here for about 6 months. I'm probably no doubt there probably has been some times
They've just
where,
covered it up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No. It'll get
bury
chucked.
the barrels out in the.
It gets chucked, and the guy who did it gets disappears.
Goes over that mezzanine level. That's why people only last 6 months.
Exactly.
That's
I'm
like
coming
that
up.
age.
I'm literally coming up to my 6 months. I'm watching over my shoulder. Also, we couldn't fit any more barrels up here. As you can see, it's quite a lot of them up here, and we're not too sure. We weren't sure originally how much weight this could take.
Oh yeah.
And when we found out, we got surveyed, and we're like, we can't put any more up here. We can take these 400 barrels plus 4 people, so we're all right. Someone walks in, we're fucked. We've obviously got a lot of money tied up in aging stock.
Yeah, if the business suddenly went tits up, there would be a lot of.
I don't think I'm pretty confident that won't happen at the moment.
Oh,
but
yeah.
I think but you never know. But
what would happen? Would someone buy the old? So if something happened and the company went tits up, all this stuff would be someone could buy it.
I don't know.
I don't know why I'm asking these questions.
Are you an auctioneer?
I think they're very successful.
Yeah, just being fatalistic. I don't know why.
Yeah.
I don't want it to fail.
I'm sure you can have a barrel on the back. The tramp stamp.
Would you hire out this venue for a birthday party or a wedding?
We have done
You
a few
have. I was
times.
taking the piss.
Bar mitzvah in
Where? Logistically,
The
how
bar,
would you do that?
we'll have so for instance, we'll have the tap yard, and we also would use we can put a marquee out in the car park to make it.
That would be
We actually have
that would be great. Yeah.
We actually have our big summer party on the 14th of July, which is Sessions and Sours. That's basically we're going to open up this whole warehouse bit here, so we have a bar in here, we have the bar outside as well, we're going to have like multiple food trucks, it's about 400 or 500 people capacity.
Wow.
Yeah.
We have the DJs on all day.
That sounds good.
So we're in the process of getting that all set up and.
That's like an invite-only thing for the fanboys and the people.
Oh, it's a ticketed sale. We can get the tickets online. It's a piss up at the brewery essentially.
But a successful one.
Yeah,
Who's organising? Because there is pressure on them.
There's a lot. I think a lot of us organisers will come together. I think everyone in the brewery volunteers that day, and it's really stressful until everyone arrives, and then it's quite fun. Sour beers. Why?
Yeah. Does anyone like a sour
I like
beer?
sour beers.
You like sour
Yeah.
beers? Do you like sour beers?
I like sour beers sometimes.
I like it
Not
because
all
I
the
like it
time.
the same way that I like eating cucumber, but I like eating
I hate them.
gherkins,
It's one
like
thing I can't
pickles,
stand.
which is something.
We'll
but
find
vinegary.
you. We'll find you one. We've our core range one, Calypso. I kind of call it like the my first sour by Tommy. Like it's like there's a nice little entry.
Okay, let's do it.
You have that, and you'll be like,
Because
I'm a big boy now.
When you go to a bar, in, like the Greyfriars, for instance, and I'll be like, I'll have that one. They go, do you know it's a sour, don't you?
It's because they are like.
It's a sour, yeah.
I want a pint of that. No, we'll give you a fig. Give me a pint.
And then they're
I want a pint. No,
You're the boss.
I hate it. I don't want
I don't
it.
understand how it exists. Like,
So
was it a mistake? And it was actually, it's quite nice.
I saw Sophie Ellis Bextor drinking a sour beer
Oh really?
in.
No, you didn't.
It did in Chiswick, in the pub called the Italian Job. So there, so fuck off.
What's this?
If it's good enough for Sophie Ellis Bextor.
Yeah, I
She
had
has
the
that
same
one.
thing.
What's
very
She has that
face
one
look
song.
like?
Yeah.
She did. She
Exactly the same.
More meaning.
She was there with her husband, who's from the band The Feeling, and literally, me and my friend were on the table next to her, and we could,
shit.
they're fucking terrible. But we were
I got a record to say
eavesdropping.
that.
We
You
could
can get
hear. She was basically like giving him career advice. He was saying something about we're at this festival, really downtrodden. They had like these kids running around, downtrodden about this festival they're playing and how they weren't high up in the bill. It was something like that. She was saying, you need to tell your manager who you are. And we were like, yeah, we know this. He's from The Feeling. I don't see how they're going to get like. What you want top billing?
Yeah. Do you want?
I don't know. She was attractive though. Attractive.
When you're free to do a little QA, answer some questions. If you want. Yeah, we'll have to go somewhere a bit quieter.
Why are you wearing Wellington boots?
Well, it's quite wet now, isn't it?
Yes.
This is because you're cleaning and the water's.
No.
whatever.
So steel toe cap first and foremost. General health and safety.
That's good.
PPE, all that sort of stuff. In terms of how wet, the environment is, you can imagine there's beer, hot water, chemical. We deal with a lot of caustic. Exactly. Had to change my t-shirt earlier. I'll just turn that water off. And I'm the only one with white wellies. I thought I'd try and stand out and
He's our fashion icon here, Siren.
So you're not just trying to be cool.
No. To be honest, the reason why they are white is a staff room full of the same, black wellies with red soles. It takes forever in the morning to find your work shoes, so I thought I can't be bothered dealing with it anymore.
And those silver cowboy boots you wanted to wear were.
Yes, yeah, they were
were
no,
boo-boos,
they were
yeah.
no steel toes in those, so I couldn't wear those.
So you're cleaning these big things out,
Yes.
and what are these big things?
So we've got, in terms of our kit, we've heavily invested that about 1.5 years ago. So we've got our mash tun here, we've got our kettle over there. We've got
This is a
our
mash tun.
Yes, mash tun.
You're cleaning out mash from inside this.
Kind of. So flip those terminologies around a little bit. So in terms of
You're mashing out clean from the.
so mashing out so cleaning out the mash tun. I'm also doing what's called the heat exchanger, which is connected to all these guys. So what cools down the beer after you boil it, but it's a collection of plates. So yeah, on a Friday it's generally one of our sour beers, and then like I've said, the lovely fun side of brewing that no one talks about or wants to talk about, and it's all the cleaning. Yeah, tons and tons of cleaning.
It's Saturday.
Yeah.
Cleaning day, isn't it?
Yeah. But yeah, tons of things can go wrong.
Do they go wrong?
The best way to describe it is brewing is a lot like baking, so it's very time sensitive. If you leave, I know it's going to sound really weird, if you leave a muffin in the oven too long, it's going to burn. It's very precise in terms of your timings. Brewing is like that. Once hops are in, if you leave, if you boil those for too long, you're going to get too much bitterness from them. So you have to have things in place. Your lines, your FV, everything is ready to go when you need it, because it's like I said, it's like baking, not cooking. Cooking, you can sort of stew a chili or something for a lot longer than you can leave. I know that's a really weird analogy, but it's the best one to describe it, or the easiest way to describe it.
Stew a muffin.
Exactly. No, that would be awful.
I've made that mistake.
If I had to dispose of a body, for example.
Yes.
You want to turn the body into a beer.
But if I had to dispose of a body,
yes,
Mash done.
would this be a good place to do it?
So that lovely stuff that I spilt on me earlier?
Yeah.
Caustic? That, yes.
Yes.
That was they used in Breaking Bad,
Drum and
wasn't it?
caustic.
Yes. It was, wasn't it?
Yeah. So if I see your car driving around conspicuous hours, that's what's happening.
That's what's occurring.
Yeah.
That's it. That's your lot. We're done here. We hope you enjoyed this third edition of the Shit Things in Reading Plopcast. We know we certainly did. Now it's time for us to crawl back under our rock and leave you ungrateful shits to your business. Hasta luego, amigos.
Shit.